Hello class, welcome to the very first lesson of Unit 4 on dividing fractions. I think this unit will be exciting and it will definitely be challenging, so we look forward to it. Let's get started. Alright, so the first activity is titled All Stacked Up, and they're going to give us several objects and they want us to estimate. That means we're going to kind of try to predict or guess how many are in a stack that is 5 feet high. Okay, so to give you an idea about what 5 feet means, here are some celebrities, and you can see this one's like about 6 feet 6 inches tall, so it's a pretty tall guy there. She's about 5 feet tall, and Tom Hanks is about 6 feet tall. I think many of you are going to be somewhere around 5 feet tall, so about as tall as many of you, right? That's what 5 feet is. So let's try to figure out how many we're going to need in order to be able to make a stack 5 feet tall. So let's go ahead and look at the options here. Cardboard boxes. All right, if you see some cardboard boxes, we've got some laying in the classroom that we'll show you. To make 5 feet tall, to make it as tall as one of you, um, we don't know exactly for sure how many they're going to need because it depends on exactly how big the cardboard boxes are, but it's probably going to be a few. So if you guess like a few, that's probably a reasonable guess. If you guess something like 5 or maybe 8 or maybe 10, something like that, somewhere in that area, that would make sense. Just a few cardboard boxes would be needed to, if you stack them up, to have them be about as tall as one of you. All right. When we look at bricks, okay, now bricks they're not going to be quite as big as the cardboard boxes. So if we stack a couple bricks up, they're not going to be as high up as we would be if we had a couple cardboard boxes. So what that means is we're going to need more bricks in order to get all the way up to 5 feet tall. So something more than what you would have guessed for cardboard boxes would make sense here. So if we guessed 5 or 10 for cardboard boxes, you're going to need probably more like maybe say like 20, 25 bricks, maybe 30, somewhere in that range. Okay, so you're going to need more bricks in order to make 5 feet than you needed cardboard boxes because the bricks are just not as big. Notebooks. All right, notebooks. Those are not as thick as bricks, right? So we're going to need more notebooks than we needed bricks, and definitely a lot more notebooks than cardboard boxes here. So again, your guesses can vary a little bit. They can be a little bit different, but they should be more than what you guessed for bricks. So I think if we were saying like about 25 for the bricks, we're probably looking at about like 60 or so, maybe 70 notebooks. We're going to need a lot more notebooks to make 5 feet than we did bricks or cardboard boxes. And then for coins, whoa, if you look and think about these little coins here and compare those even to notebooks, the coins are even smaller yet, right? They're not as thick as the notebooks. So to stack 5 feet tall with coins, we're going to need a bunch, right? We're going to need a whole bunch. We're going to need probably, I'm guessing, a couple hundred, like a few hundred, somewhere in that range, right? So again, the exact number isn't the biggest deal here, but what's big is that you notice that because these are much thinner or they take up less space, you're going to need a lot more of them to make a stack 5 feet tall. And because cardboard boxes take up the most space, they're the thickest, we're going to need the fewest number of those in order to make 5 feet. All right, so a couple other questions here they wanted us to talk about. If you look at number 2, a stack of books is 72 inches tall. Real quick, can anybody guess how many feet that is? If you said 6 feet, you'd be correct. Okay, so it's a little bit taller than the 5 feet we were just working with, right? Each book is 2 inches thick. So it's a stack of books real high, like probably like you would see in the library at the beginning of the year when you came in and checked out books. You might have seen books stacked up really high like that. Okay, so that's kind of what we're talking about here. Each book is 2 inches thick. So which expression tells us how many books are in the stack? Be prepared to explain your reasoning. Well, let's go back up here and think about how this worked up here. Remember we said that we were going to be stacking up a bunch of these items, and the bigger they were, the fewer of them we needed. Right? We needed the fewest of the cardboard boxes, and then the less space it takes up, we need more of them in coins, right? The idea is that our stack, if you look, you can see it for sure, like with the notebooks and the coins here. Our stack is made up of a bunch of individual of the items, a bunch of individual notebooks, a bunch of individual coins, right? So it's made of a bunch of those. So in order to see how many of them are in there, what that means we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take the height of the stack, and we're going to have to divide it by the size of the items, right? This is how we would actually work these problems out if we wanted to get the exact answer. If we knew exactly how thick each of these items were, then we could find out exactly how many items that we would need, right? If they told us exactly how thick the cardboard boxes are, we could figure out exactly how many we would need, right? But they didn't do that, and that's why it didn't matter earlier. But now they tell us that they're 2 inches thick, these books. So what that means is we have a stack of individual items. We're going to take that stack and we're going to divide them by however thick they are. So that would mean it's going to have to be 72 divided by 2. We're going to divide it by however thick the item is, and that'll tell us how many of them we're going to need. So in this case here, we would need 36 books. Okay, so that's like a whole big class set. All right, and then, so let's look at number 3 here. It says another stack of books is 43 inches tall. Each book is 1/2 inch thick. Write an expression that represents the number of books in the stack. Well, it's the exact same situation that we just saw here. They tell us how tall the stack is, right? Here it was 72, here it's 43. They tell us how thick the book is. Here it was 2 inches, here it's 1/2 inch. And we want to have an expression that tells us how many books are in there. And you can see what we did here with the expression. We just took the height and divided it by how thick they were. So we're going to do the exact same thing for number 3. We're going to take 43, that's the height of this stack, and we're going to divide it. I'll just actually write out divided by 1/2. Okay? Now you might think that seems a little bit funny because you maybe haven't divided by a fraction before, but that's exactly what we're going to do here. And that's why the title of the unit is dividing fractions, right? So 43 divided by 1/2, okay? That is what the expression is going to involve. There are, of course, different ways to write, to show division, right? Including this little symbol here. Okay, that's the end of activity 1.